Good morning, Brenda. How are you this morning?
So just take care of yourself, say hello to your family, especially your wife. I know she's going to be feeling better. Thank you so much. And your special guy. Thank you very much, Steve. And then a part of it, I would say, that's why now I'm thinking too about something right here. It's a different part about how the straight goes through the water and all that stuff. I was started the shape from the net. And we like to get that so it's teal come away. You really are the best, and I can do that. And I think that's what the fact that I'm watching Fox News and I don't know Utah. One of the job.
Hey, Justin, how's it going?
It's going all right.
Another bus trip out of the way, huh?
Yeah. Got this week, next week, and then I'm off for most of the third week of this month.
Hey, Justin, how's it going?
And then
Another bus trip out of the way, huh? Yeah, I had an echo going, and it's gone now.
let me see here.
So, what do you got a vacation going on the third week away, or?
No, it's not a vacation. Sarah's gonna be out of town, so
Oh, so you got to take care of it at the home front. Well, you got to do what you got to do. Brenda, I'm doing okay. It's been raining here most of the morning. It's still raining right now. It's not that nice out. But 'tis what it is.
oh no, I gotta make it through next week, the following week. And then I have the 18th through the 22nd off. And then I go back Friday and then I have 3 days off. Go back for 3 days and school's out.
Oh, school's what day is school out? The 1st of June or so?
No, last week of May.
Last week of May. Okay.
It's 3 days after Memorial Day, be the last day. Or 2 days no, 3 days. Because Memorial Day's on Monday. We go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then they're out
Okay.
Thursday. Yeah, so I pretty much only have about 3 weeks left of school.
As you can see, it's a raining here today. Good thing I went out yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, and mowed the lawn. Because
So, Brenda,
it's gonna start growing because it's getting a little bit, it's in the 40s and lots of rain.
man, we need the rain. I don't know where the hell it's at this year, but
Yeah, Brenda's been saying the same thing. She's looking forward to getting more rain too.
well, we need it. A lot of the lakes in my area are getting really low. Like they're 3 or 4 feet low. Like you can see the water lines, the rings from the water lines around the edges.
Really
And
low, huh?
and not to mention we're in a burn advisory because everything's so dry right now. So
Boone, stop. You're not gonna want to go outside. It's raining. He went out this morning and he came back in soaking wet.
we didn't get a lot of rain last year either. Like I said, if it wasn't for that hurricane, the lakes probably would be a lot lower right now. It's only rained here a couple times in the past like 3, 4 weeks.
The Boone, go lay down. Lay down. Go lay down. The see that shaking going on there? The camera has a mode where it's called the shake mode. It's supposed to shake the water off the globe.
Yeah, see it.
Here comes David.
Good afternoon, good morning,
Hey,
everybody.
David, how's it going?
Another day, another pot falls apart. Let's just leave it there. We are,
It sounds like you're kind of having the kind of life that I am. That half the time things work, and 3/4 of the time it doesn't.
Paul, the way I'm falling apart, I'm coming to you for body parts.
uh,
They're looking at my liver and kidney.
uh-huh.
Yeah, they think they're failing. They're looking at maybe something to do with the nerves now being affected in the brain. Yeah, so more medication. Yippee! Because that's what I really wanted. And tomorrow I'm being rushed in for proper tests.
Okay. Well,
So I won't be on tomorrow at all.
Hopefully they'll get it figured out.
Well, yes. Like I said, every day a different part fails. I mean, come on, you don't need your liver and kidneys anyway.
Maybe you don't, but I do. But then all of us aren't a Superman like you are.
I ain't Superman. You all right, Justin?
Yeah, I'm good. Just got home.
He just got home and he's in his. Are you in your jammies yet or no?
Oh, I gotta go back in a couple hours.
Yeah. He's home in relaxed mood.
Yep. Kicking back.
In other words, David, shut up. All right.
I love reading
Oh.
these
Hi, Brenda.
all these comments, people bitching about these damn student loans now.
Oh, for God.
Because they got to pay them back because they were promised they were going to get forgived by Biden. And Trump said, no, everybody's got to pay their loans back.
Look,
Now they're all bitching.
these are the rules, right? When you sign for a loan, it tells you the terms of that loan. If you don't agree with them, don't sign it. Don't take the loan.
Well, that's the thing too, is people were taking out loans running up 150, $200,000 in debt and student loans to get a job that makes them 40 to 60,000 a year. It's
If
like
that.
you could have got that without the degree.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah. Look how many people though have got degrees and they're working in fucking McDonald's. I'm a burger technician.
Well, like I said, my ex boss, his son ran up over 100 grand on a 4-year art degree, and he works at Camping World as an associate. He's not even a manager.
It doesn't surprise me. Like I said, we as in even in this country, we just need to get a grip of these bloody universities that are offering courses in absolute fucking jack shit.
Yep, yep, yep. That's the one thing that grinds
Well,
my ass is people come out of college with literature or ancient literature or that kind of thing, and they got a degree. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
well,
if you're gonna go for a degree in history, literature, stuff like that, you need one to back it up.
That's right.
Yeah. You see, Laura's niece, who's 19 now, when she came out, they told her to go to university for drama, and she was like, "I'll do drama, but I want to do psychology." And they was like, "Oh, we don't think you'll pass that." She's passing it with flying colours.
well, and that,
She reckons in 2 years' time she's gonna have a doctorate in it.
well, and that's the thing too, is like people, and then these universities are also giving you classes that have nothing to do with what you're going to school for, and
With
then they
real
charge
life,
you
you know.
for it.
Yeah,
Like one guy Charlie Kirk was at a college and he was asking some of the kids, well, what are you here for? One guy said, I'm here for civil engineer. And he's taking a women's studies class that he's forced to take by the college. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with an engineer job? Like, and then, it's like they make them take all these stupid classes that have nothing to do with the subject that they're going to school for. And then they're forced to pay for that. That's part of the, what they have to pay for.
yeah. But listen, kiddies out there, just remember, you can get to that top job in your government, prime minister, president, whatever, and it don't mean a jack shit if you got a degree because half of them ain't got a fucking clue what they're doing.
I mean, it's just like the point they made, there's over 600,000 jobs in the US you can get without a degree that make over 100,000 a year.
Jesus.
You don't have to have a degree for. Like you could go be a Walmart store manager and make 200 grand a year.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have a business degree or anything. I mean, granted, you have to work your way up to that, and it might take you a few years. But I've seen people go from an associate to a store manager in a 3 to 5 year period. They just
Yeah,
work
well,
their ass off.
when I worked at Asda, I was a trainee manager, unofficially, and before I knew it, I'd literally done every job in there, and they were giving me fucking certificates I didn't even know I was going for.
Yeah,
So, and when Walmart took over Asda, they were fucking loving the fact that I was going through everything. Within months of Walmart taking over, I was running my own shifts.
yeah, Walmart. It's not hard to get promoted in Walmart. I mean, you just got to work your ass off. That's it.
Just put your hours in. I was doing I was doing 4 days, 10-hour shifts, which was my 40 hours plus 1 hour, well, 39 plus 1 hour overtime. And then they would give me a fifth day, which was an extra 10 hours overtime.
Oh, then you just got to have a little ambition. Like if you go and you take the manager's test
Yeah.
and then keep applying
Morning,
for
Frank.
positions, eventually they'll call you
Hey,
in.
Frank,
Yeah.
how's it going?
But now, for all I've been through, I've now got a degree in how to fail my fucking body.
What's up,
I
Jody?
just said to the woman at the optician's place, she was like, "Is there anything that you haven't got a problem with?" I said, "Well, when I die, I'm just going to be a head. That's all that's going to be left. You're just literally going to be putting a head in a box. That's it." I'm like the old what's it called? Monty Python. It's a flesh wound. and he's lost his leg. Come here, I'll kick your ass.
Well, you
No.
could get you could in the situation you're in, you could get a degree in self-help.
Well,
Yeah.
and the thing is like life expectancy has gone up over the decades, but it's not so much from them. Some of it is from curing stuff, but a lot of it's just they've figured out how to buy you more time, and that's it. You know?
Yeah.
Well, and you're right about the word you used, buying. It's all about the dollars, buying you more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no healthcare, I mean, really is free. You don't pay for it somehow, either through taxes or whatever.
Well, this is what I say, right? When I was, before I got ill health retired, I'm going to be honest, I went through a lot of shit, and yet it was being stabbed that was the one that was like, that's enough. I've had enough now. Yeah, that's where everything fell apart. Yeah. And before that, I was doing 2 full-time jobs a week and 2 part-time jobs.
Except
Yeah. Literally, I was going home, going bed, getting up, out to the first job, home, back to the second job, home, weekends, back out, done.
What's up, TJ?
TJ!
You got Jody, Jim, and TJ just popped in.
Hey, Jim.
And not Jim from Canada, Jim from Michigan.
Hello, Jim. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. TJ, are you working? Are you a working man this morning?
Or are you twerking in that bikini?
Twerking in his bikini.
Well, he's not. If he is working, he's not actually working because he's chatting in your chat.
Yeah. Actually, you can just see him at the till. Just a minute, I'm typing. Don't be rude.
Oh, Booner, you're a wild child today. You know what he's wild about? He wants to go outside. It's raining, but he wants to go outside.
Oh, you got rain, have you?
Oh yeah, because there's squirrels and stuff running around. He's dying to go outside.
What's up, Dustin?
We've hit the 28-degree mark. It's bloody warm.
TJ said he's at home this morning. He's not at work.
Hey, One Vision.
But yeah, I was like kind of laughing at some of these comments about the whole student loan thing. Some of these people are in there telling, well, teachers should just go boycott the schools. And it's like, dude. And then I put in there, I was like, you might as well just pay everybody's mortgages and car loans and everything. Because at this point, loans don't mean anything if we're just going to pay everybody's shit off.
Those with student loans will be the first ones to go up in arms when the country is going, we have to raise taxes because we've got nothing left.
Yeah, there's like $1.5 trillion in student loans out there from the government. Yeah. Like, you can't just wipe that away and just be like, oh, it doesn't exist anymore.
Guys, you know that funny smell we could smell earlier? Turns out it was TJ's been off today.
Oh, TJ's off today.
Come on, TJ, get on the panel. Give us someone to abuse. Come on.
Senior allowance card. It only takes
otherwise, I'll set law on you.
But I mean, I agree with you, David. Like, if you sign that paper, you're agreeing to that at the end of the day. Nobody forced you to.
It was a life lesson I was taught at school. Yeah. We had a teacher that, he went in what they call personal social education, which was like your sexual health, all that sort of shit, and then personal life and stuff. Yeah. He said, no other school, no other teacher is going to teach you this shit. He says, but when you go into the wider world, he says, read what you're signing, read what you're doing, because you're going to go out there and you get loans, and you get credit cards, and you don't own that money. Yeah, you've got a short-term fix, but a long-term pain.
Yep.
And that's why I'm going to be honest, when I was 18, 19, I was like, Oh, I've got loads of money coming. I'll get a loan, get this, I'll get that. Now I'm like, fuck that. It's not my money. Bastards want it back.
Well, and that's one thing people need to look at too. How much is the job I'm going for? What's the starting out pay, average starting pay for that position? And is it worth me running up this type of bill to
Exactly.
get that? And if
Oh.
it's a even $60,000 a year job, it ain't worth the $150,000,
No.
$200,000 you could potentially run up.
But the question is as well, don't they only have to pay back when they start earning a certain amount?
No.
No.
Oh,
And there's
over here.
interest on it as well.
All right. Well, over here, it's the interest-free loans over here, but you don't start paying it back until you're earning a certain amount. So
No, there's no cap on earnings. It's just you got to start paying it back right away. It might be $2,000-3,000 a month for the rest of your life. You know.
Oh, not
Yeah.
that much. They'll do. It depends on how much you run up. I've seen people with like $100,000 loans. They'll pay a couple hundred a month, but
Well,
they'll be
that's
paying for a long time. you
Yeah.
know?
yeah, but
But
you know,
that's-
some of these guys are graduating with student loans of $300,000-400,000.
Well, I
Yeah.
think your average master's degree will cost you like around $250,000.
Yeah, 280,000, I think it is.
wait up. How much?
It could be. Let me look, because I think last time I looked, it was like there's an average. I mean, obviously, and people can
the-
get grants that they don't have
Okay.
to pay
If
back.
there's
Not
any
everybody gets
fucking
those.
student in the UK sat there now bitching that you have to pay $3,000 a year towards your university costs, yeah, shut the fuck up. $3,000 is not a lot.
Let me see.
Here comes the life of the party. TJ!
What's up, y'all?
Y'all good? You're going a little southern, are you?
Yeah. You catch a ship this morning? There's one right now, it looks like.
Yeah, it's been raining all day.
Oh, has it?
Listen, Paul's had enough of rain for last week. Let's not encourage him.
So the
Yeah.
average cost a year for your average, like for a master's degree. Now this is just an average; it could be different, but it's
Yeah.
around 36,000 a year.
Yeah.
And
See, over here, I
so-
think it depends on the type of degree or stuff you're going for. Up to the age of 18 into college, you're pretty much allowed to do what you want, and the government will pay for it. But once you go to university, that's when you got to like pay $3,000 or $6,000, depending on your course. And some of them, so if you're going into like general practitioner or medical field, yeah, if you take a course with the local hospital, so Basildon's a university hospital, you take a course with them, the hospital where you're training will give you work, and also they will pay your university fees off.
well,
You
and
know,
the thing,
you just have
Hey,
to
Brenda.
be in the NHS for X amount of years after you've done, which I think
Well-
is great.
and it
No.
depends here, like what university you go to. If you go to like some kind of smaller university, you'll probably pay less. But then it also depends on whether you're going to be if you're an out of state student, because they charge more if you come from out of state. So you might pay 20 grand a year as an in-state student. But say I decide to go from Florida to say North Carolina and go to school, they might charge me 30 grand a year. And it, like I said, depends on what university it is. You go somewhere like Yale or Harvard, dude, you're gonna pay out the fucking ass.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the same over here. I mean, if you're going to Salford or somewhere like that, then you're going to end up, $3,000. But if you start going to like the University of Central Lancashire and the University of London, then it's going to start going up $6,000 and slightly more. And then if you're going into Cambridge and you haven't got, a sponsor, you might as well just kiss your ass goodbye, because Cambridge and Oxford are the biggies.
Well,
They will-
TJ
will
is
drain
still,
you.
TJ is still paying for his student loan.
You know how much Harvard University made alone in 2024. Their operating revenue for fiscal year 2024 was $6.5 billion.
Doesn't surprise me. It really does not surprise
That's
me.
fucking insane.
Yeah. And Paul, don't take the mickey out of TJ and his student loans and stuff. He can't afford to live and he's eating his hands.
I
Yeah.
have any. I'm not going to school, so I don't think I have any student loans.
Have you checked?
You,
If
whoa,
you-
whoa, whoa, you don't think you have.
If you didn't
should
go to
really,
college,
really
then you
know.
don't.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
what my theory is because of his personality, somebody went to school and got a student loan. His name was Anthony Alexander. It may not be the Anthony Alexander on the screen right now, but you've got a double out there that's taking your money, buddy.
Yeah, they'll
Probably.
TJ walk in with some doctorate in
Yeah.
the McDonald's. I want a job. No, I don't want to work in the store. I want to run the whole company.
Doggone.
Could you imagine TJ running McDonald's?
He
You
probably
see,
put some
there,
cool
that
toys
is
in the Happy Meals.
That is a perfect. Oh, can you imagine it? You get a Happy Meal, open the box, and there's a fucking DJI drone in the bottom.
Oh, you know what it'd be? It'd have a sticker on the front of the box that says TJ.
But TJ, seriously now, this is a job for you. Ronald McDonald. They need a replacement.
Ronald McDonald needs a replacement. Yeah.
They need someone with a bit more life, a bit more charisma, a bit more laughable. Get out, go and pitch yourself to McDonald's and say,
Like, hey,
I'm your man.
I'm here to replace Ronald McDonald's job.
You could do commercials. Hey, get your Happy Meal here. Hey.
Oh, no. Actually, no, I've just realised something. TJ, don't go for that, right? Because McDonald's will get sued the shit when you're fucking stood there going, that's funny. And the poor kid's choking on a fucking chicken nugget.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's funny. That's funny.
What do you think,
pretty
Joe?
Good. That's pretty good.
I think that y'all need to stop encouraging Paul to encourage TJ.
So, bottom line, TJ, is he doesn't want anybody to encourage you.
That's funny. Hey man, I need all the encouragement I can get.
Well, TJ, where's your missus?
She's at work.
You notice how he
TJ.
said that? Hey, she's at work.
Yeah, TJ, if you need encouragement, send me your address. I'll send her a whip.
Send her.
Get on with it. You won't need much more encouragement than that.
Yeah.
She'll be like, TJ, take the bins out. And you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. Well,
Not
I'll do
really.
it.
All right, the whip's coming out. Okay, I'll go.
Forget the whip, send her a bat.
But see, TJ, we was going to do this with Sarah and Justin. Yeah. But then Justin was like, oh, whip me harder. Is that the best you got?
No, he was sitting there going, I like that.
Bit like in Big Bang Theory when Sheldon's spanking Amy and she's going, ooh. And she goes, you're not supposed to be enjoying this. She goes, well, spank me harder then.
I don't think I saw that episode.
Yeah, it's
Sarah
the
came in
episode
with
where
the
she's
whip.
ill.
Sarah
I've
came in
seen
with the
all of
whip
them
and-
except probably for that one.
No, you'll have seen it. She's actually ill and he actually looks after her
no.
and rubs vapor on her chest.
Go ahead,
Oh.
Joe. What were you saying?
Yeah, as if Sarah came in with the whip and Justin's going, do it, stop, stop, do it, stop.
Is that the way it goes over there, Justin?
What? Sorry, I was watching something. What?
I said Sarah comes in with the whip and Justin's going, do it, stop, do it, stop.
Yeah, you know me too well.
Actually, Sarah comes in with a whip and Justin goes, just a minute, let me handcuff myself to the wall.
Justin's
TT.
safe word is alligator.
You eating some oatmeal there, Joe?
Eating cereal.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't use the great big bowl like you do.
Yeah.
I use a cup.
Oh, cup.
I'll watch this. David, you'll like this so much. Hold on.
No.
The fuck you mean? No.
No. You have to work early. Uh,
Man, are you ever... Where the hell's that sound coming from? TJ, is that your TV?
Probably, yes.
Pack it in.
Back in.
You're not even watching it. You're on here. Turn it down.
I didn't even know you could hear it. It's not even that loud.
Yeah, as I was about to say anyway. I was having that AI robot debate with somebody the other day, and they were adamant that every job in the world, yeah, was going to be taken over by an AI robot. And I said, yeah, well, I wish you luck when that AI robot prostitute comes round and tries to give you a blowjob. That is one job they ain't taking. No robot plugging a USB in my socket.
Huh. I've seen the movie I, Robot, so I would never have a robot.
Yeah, that movie's pretty crazy.
What you buying, Paul?
Another drone.
Oh, look at that one going through, Paul. With the digger on it.
Yeah, well, that's a maintenance one. I'm not
You could've
buying
flew
anything,
around
but
that.
I'm going to show you guys something. This is
could've flew-
TJ's latest visit over to India.
Oh no.
You ready?
Oh no. That's funny.
I got a better question on this. Why is Paul watching it?
I don't know, but I've got a new outfit idea.
I thought that was you, David. I thought that was David.
Well, what I did is I put up in the search bar TJ song, and it comes up with all this stuff from India.
TJ song.
TJ song. That's funny.
I'll tell you what, Paul, you need to sort that algorithm out.
Hold on, this is TJ right here. Totally
You're
TJ.
in trouble now.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Oh, here we go. I've been known to do that actually.
I can totally see TJ road raging like that. Get out the way.
There you go, TJ. You got to let your hair grow now so you can whip it.
I know.
Whip it good, whip it good.
Whip it just like she should.
That's pretty good. That's funny.
So what's your plan for today, TJ?
my car's my car's clean, so I don't need to do that.
Well, yeah, you were out doing that in your
Yeah, I
G-string
had my
yesterday,
bikini
right?
on yesterday.
Yeah, your G-string bikini.
I just
um,
ate. Stop. I don't need to hear that. I just ate. I don't need to have no picture of that. Oh Lord.
Well, he was.
No, Jim and I were talking on the phone yesterday, and I could hear like really loud music, and I was like, "Where the hell is that music coming from?" And I was looking up and down the road.
You told us that story already.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did tell you that, didn't I?
It was a 5-minute rendition to the band was over at the school practice.
Yeah. Yep,
Okay, how does Paul remember that, but he don't remember his password?
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
There you go, encouraging Paul again. This is the Paul Murray Seal Show. Like we're going to Chuck E. Cheese and SeaWorld at the same time.
Chuck E. Cheese and SeaWorld. Everybody get on board the bus and say hello to Justin as you're getting on. Here we go.
See what you started, Justin?
Oh, so much of the short.
That's funny. That's funny. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's funny.
Watch that short, Joe. That's
That's pretty good.
Okay, now it's time to suck on your fingers, TJ.
I know. Oh goodness. That's hilarious. That's funny. That's pretty
Joe,
good.
you see how you got him going now.
I didn't do it.
That's funny.
No, it's not. I'm kidding.
David says, no, it's not.
That's funny.
No.
Hey,
no.
David, if TJ were to come over to visit you, could you take him down through town and have a good time?
No.
Oh god.
that was a funny short.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
No, I'm talking about the one I just put in the chat. Oh, and there he goes. He's killing his microphone now.
You know it's bad when the microphone gives up.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's funny.
TJ, let me tell you again. No, it's not.
I just clicked on that link you gave out here, Justin. This is what it puts.
Yeah, because you're not logged into Facebook.
I can't log into Facebook.
Yeah, which means you can't watch any Facebook links. That's why I went to that. Wants you to log in.
All right, well, share the video. Stop being evil.
I can't sign into Facebook because my account's been suspended.
You know what I'm going to do one day, Paul? I'm going to create a Facebook account. I'll create an email address, right? Leave it a couple of days. Then I'm going to create you a Facebook account, right? And I'm going to make them simple passwords, but hard passwords, right? Then we're going to have a private Zoom chat, and I'm going to give you the details, and we're going to sign you up to them, and you're going to be up and going, and I'll take all the pictures off your old one and move them over, right? And then you can just pack it in. Sorted.
You lost me on step 2, you know?
Don't worry. You only need to worry about step 5. Ring Paul Murray.
His forehead. That's funny.
That's pretty funny. That's really funny. That's pretty really funny.
Oh goodness.
Well, I see we got a high of 10 people watching us.
Yeah, TJ put him off. We're blaming TJ.
Love you too, David.
Oh. Where did David go? Hung himself.
Yeah, what do you got
You
on my
should-
40, homie?
Hmm.
He said, what chain? He said, I don't know.
That movie was pretty funny.
Hold on.
What movie was it?
Hold on, I'll play the clip. Hold on a sec. I just thought it was funny because of the way.
You see, I don't clip links that Justin sends because I don't want my
Okay.
fucking algorithm fucked up.
It says how
Yeah.
Canada, U.S., and China and Mexico are handling tariffs. What? Oh wait, hold on.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Red? Thanks for the bike. What you got on my 40, homie?
I thought you had $200.
I do. But I won't spend Red's money. I'm broke.
Yeah.
Give it up, Red.
Come on, Debo, stall him out.
Where you got my 40, homie? I don't have nothing. Yeah, you got something. Why you tripping, Debo? Shut up, fuck, I'll knock your ass
Oh
out.
man, that's messed up. What you giving back his chain?
What chain?
Yeah, what chain?
Hey, man, why y'all didn't help me?
And I'm high.
Man, that's fucked up, man. If it was y'all, I would have helped y'all.
What about the time he tried to choke me in Smoke backyard?
Yeah.
Oh, that was different.
Man, that's jumping.
Sit your ass down.
Man, I got mind control over Debo. He be like, shut the fuck up. I be quiet. But when he leave, I be talking again.
Man, my grandmama gave me that chain.
Tripping hard.
Only on people he know. He don't be pulling that shit on them fools around the corner.
Fuck
Oh,
Fuck that.
Oh my god.
What chain?
My grandma gave me that chain.
Uh,
I like how he said, what about when he was choking me? Oh, that'd be different.
so, oh, that was different. uh, he said he'll tell me to shut the fuck up. I'll be quiet. But then when you leave, I'll be talking again.
There you go, TJ. There it is.
Oh hell.
What is it?
Mavic 4 Pro.
Oh, so close, but yet so far away for you guys.
Yeah.
It's not available, is it?
Doesn't come out till the 13th.
It might not even be coming to the U.S. As a
That
retailer.
shit's here already. I guarantee you. I guarantee you they're here.
Somebody will have one.
Yeah, but even if they are here, they're going to be very limited because most of the retailers usually only bought one. You know, most stores would only usually have one or two of each new stuff. So,
Well, it all depends. If DJI contacted all these major companies and said, look, you need to buy a dozen of them, you know, we're going to get them.
Yeah,
I
but
think
that had
DJI
to
has a warehouse somewhere they're putting them in.
That had to have been pre-tariff though,
Yeah,
so they had to have had them ready before then.
yeah, because they delayed them when they heard the tariffs were coming. So I think what they were doing is shipping them in. I've heard they've got them into Canada, and Canada DJ is not having any problems shipping from Canada to the United States.
Yeah, but if the thing is though, is that whole thing of shipping to another country, then shipping in, they're not supposed to be doing that because they're looking for country of origin.
Right.
So if Canada's doing that, it means Canada's hiding the fact that those are from China. That'd be the only way they're supposed to
Canada's
technically
doing
get it to
nothing.
them. Well, I'm saying that's technically the only way that they would be legally getting around it. Or it's not even legal, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Canada's
Right.
doing nothing. We're being innocent.
They caught a company in what was it, South Korea that was changing out made in China labels with made in South Korea labels. The government caught a couple warehouses doing it because they were trying to change the country of origin.
All I know is it's out of my reach.
I mean, we won't know until the day they release it whether it's even available in the U.S.
Yeah. The only way it's not out of my reach is if it hits Crutchfield. Crutchfield has DJI stuff. So if they have it, the credit card I have through them has enough money on it for up to about, I can do about 4 on it because I don't want to max it. But and they'll give me 24 months, same as cash. I'll think about that.
And that's the thing. If they didn't get any in here, then I don't know if the U.S. retailers are going to get them or even
That
try
looks
to
like a
attempt to get them because that's a hard sell when you're trying to sell something 3.5 times more than what it's worth.
Oh, I'm not paying any tariffs. If it's got tariffs on it, I'm not paying $1 tariff.
Yeah,
That's the bottom line. If it's the price that they're coming out with right now, I'll buy it.
almost
But
looks
I'm
like
not.
a flip kind of.
Have you looked on DJI's website and see if they had any information on it?
No, I don't have anything on it yet. They're not going to leak it until the 6th, and then they're not going to put it on the website until the 13th. There you go, Paul. Buy you 2 of those.
Well, then where did Randy get that picture from?
Well, that's leaked. That's the guy on
That
what
wasn't
you
leaked.
call it,
That was just
Igor.
given out.
Yeah, they've got a lot of those out right now. This is the most leaked drone in history. They've had pictures for 3 weeks on this drone.
DJI is the most leaked company in history. I've never
Yeah.
seen a freaking company get so much shit. Quote unquote, they say it's leaked, but I think they do it on purpose for marketing. Because no business has ever been that much of a open book with stuff that's coming out. Like a lot of companies, it's hard to know. There's a lot of speculation when they have a new product dropping. They just do it, I think, to hype people up to want to buy it. Because they have that problem with every single drone they come out with. They claim that there's a bunch of leaks, but I think that they're just doing it on purpose.
Now, this is the thing right here. I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is this. If you look right here, what is this? And it goes here. So why is this off of here? Why are they showing that?
Looks to me like
Maybe
it's
it's
got,
like
see, it's
a
got
le-
a
a
plug,
Lego-
it's got a plug-in like it's some kind of extra.
No,
maybe,
no,
maybe you can give a haircut with it.
A haircut. Looks like a landing part of like a landing thing. Or
Well, it looks like
whatever.
the bottom of the drone, but why are they showing it off? Because there's no plugs. There's no plugs anywhere on this. If you look at the top section, everything here plugs in already. All those are plugged in. Everything's plugged in. So that just goes there, snaps in or whatever. But why are they showing it being off? Why would you be able to take it off if all you got down here is wires that run your drone?
What's the thing with the shadow or whatever? Like, what the heck is all this?
That's
shadow?
a watermark, so
I
you
don't
can't
know.
steal.
Is that not maybe a battery door?
You know, no, the battery in the back right here. You know what
Oh,
I'm thinking
okay.
that might be? Since it says DJI on it, might be a hard drive.
That's what I was gonna say next. Maybe it's maybe you can upgrade it or something.
Yeah,
Or maybe
maybe it's
it's
a hard drive.
removable.
But then the thing, this is my question too now. If this thing clips on, what happens if you hit something that falls off, then you don't have it?
Then you've lost it.
Oh, that's all the shit that you're gonna see all the problems with it once people start getting their hands on it.
Once you clip
Yeah.
it on, you put elastic band around it.
Super glue.
Well, you definitely don't want to put super glue on. You ain't getting it off then.
Well, maybe you don't want to get it up.
But what happens when it goes faulty? If you like you
Look at
said, if
that
it
joker.
drops,
It's bigger than the Mavic 3.
And you notice I didn't put any like, normally the front of the drone hangs over top of the camera. There's no hood or anything.
Yeah, they've got you talking about the sensor?
No, just like every other drone,
Jason, what's up?
there was always a little lip of the drone that went over top of the camera. Look at any
Oh,
of your
yeah.
drones that you have.
Yeah, that's because it's going to have a complete 360 rotation. But all the sensors are right here. All the sensors are in the arms. It's crazy.
here's Jason.
Jason.
Nope.
There's Jason.
There goes Jason.
Hi,
Well,
Jason.
I'm wondering if that is a removable hard drive, maybe they're coming out with something that it will slide into. Maybe it's going to be like a universal type hard drive. You know?
I'm wondering. But no, I
Maybe
think
they-
there's two different hard drives for it. So maybe that's the hard drive you got to switch up.
You can either upgrade it or like I said, they may be making other products that are going to use the same hard drive that you'll be able to slide it in and out of stuff. Or maybe some kind of hard drive reader you can plug into it or something. I don't know.
I will do if it comes out and it's at Crutchfield, I would do the 24 month same as cash for the 30 if it's 34 something for the Flymore kit. I'd do that.
Well, normally you'll see all the listings going up about a week or so before it's dropped. But you just won't be able to buy it. I think Amazon does that, don't they?
Well, no, I don't think they're gonna do that this time. Because lately it's been the day of the drop.
When did you say it's supposed to drop?
13th
Of this month?
next month. This month.
Yeah, this month. We're in May now.
We'll know in about a week or so. Or two. No.
Have you tried
Almost 2
Googling
weeks,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, have you Googled and see if anyone's got a price?
No, the prices
Doesn't-
they've been saying is reasonable. You know, it's like the price of the Mavic 3 when it came out. So we'll see.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right. What Jim's talking about.
Yeah, he's got a point. But you see, if I waited a year on the Mavic 3, and then I bought it refurb. I bought one on eBay refurb, and I got 2 batteries in the Mavic 3 for $16.98. And then I went and bought the Flymore kit just to have an extra couple of batteries and all the chargers and everything. And yesterday I flew my 200th flight on that refurb, and it's still flying perfect.
Yeah, there's no
Actually, it's
listings
on
out yet.
it's on the same props. I'm about to change the props.
Yeah, there's no listings on it, just articles and a couple YouTube videos. Is it? Some channel, Tech Make TV, put out one. DJI Mavic 4 Pro official specs and release date. But there's no listings as far as Amazon or B&H.
Now, last night on Coast to Coast Drones, Bill had a video out of Indonesia area of a video of, it was like their trailer that they put out. Let me find it. I got it.
All right, I gotta jump off. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay,
All right,
Justin,
later,
stay
Justin.
out of trouble.
Never.
Yeah, I sent it to Johnny last night. This is the trailer for the Mini 4 Pro that came out of Indonesia.
PJ, it's all your fault.
And it just showed the video of it. Like they showed it going between a couple of guys holding new control and everything. But this is supposed to be the footage coming out of it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. That's
This is the
good footage.
Mavic 4 Pro.
Yeah. You saw how it made that little turn like it was turning?
Yeah. Looks like a little smiley face.
Yeah, that's cool. Trying to find a one with the guys. There you go. See the guys flying with the controller right there. Hold on, go back and do it. I'll stop it when it gets there.
That's cool though.
See, that's the new controller right there.
Oh, so it's built in or whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it pops up. But if that's the video coming out of that, that is freaking crazy. That is, and that's in 1080. I mean, it looks good. So
Does anybody know what the price is going to be on that drone?
they're saying I think it's going to be just a drone and a battery. Is with just a regular RC1. They said it was going to be like 2,300.
So with the RC3, what's it going to be?
It's going to be an RC Pro Pro 2. It's only going to come with the Fly More kit. They're talking it might be. They're saying I think they said that it was going to be $34.99.
Oh, TJ will write a check for that.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Got me tempted.
There's something wacky.
Like I said, the only way I can get it is if it's at that one place, Crutchfield. Not at Crutchfield, I can't get it. And if
Why
I
is
bought
that?
it, I'd probably have to buy the new controller. Just because that new controller would fly the Neo. You know, it would fly everything now.
Okay.
I mean, that Mavic 4 Pro does look pretty sick looking. I mean, if I had that kind of money, I would buy it. Then I'd probably be done buying drones.
Well, you might be done buying drones after that one.
Yeah.
All the new laws that all the states are trying to put up. FAA needs to step in and say, bitches, listen, we own airspace over your state. Shut the F up. Stop trying to do a drone law. FAA can stop it in a minute. They need somebody in the FAA that flies drones. That's what they needed. If they had somebody in the FAA that was like, give an example, just maybe a bad example, Marcus Crawford that flies drones all the time. If say he was the head of the FAA, you know, or somebody like that guy that does all the lawyering stuff for Lara, something, whatever his name is. If he was part of it. FAA's got the rules. Okay, you're worrying about somebody flying over your house. Let's give an example: Slidell, Louisiana, or St. Tammany Parish. if you're worried about somebody flying over your house and looking in windows, you already have a video voyeurism law.
Yep.
That law already covers that. Okay? Don't matter if he's got a drone or a camera or his cell phone. Okay? So you got the laws to cover that already. Enforce your laws, leave our laws alone. That's the best way to say it.
Oh, Jody's talking about no, you won't, because they'll come out with a 8K 120 frames a second, and everybody will be bummed that they bought the 4.
Oh yeah, maybe. Like I said, the problem you got is what was this other? Like I said, yesterday, what blew me away was Fox News at noon when they were talking. It was a 1 o'clock broadcast here. It was 2 o'clock Eastern when they were talking to somebody in the Defense Department, and they were talking about the drones in New Jersey over bases and things like this, and how they're trying to get permission to be able to take them down, even outside the base. So, and then the woman says, "Well, why can't you just use a shotgun like this?" So they're talking about shooting drones down now. Now we're again talking down an aircraft, and then the drone you think's a drone's going to be a helicopter, or it's going to be a small plane, and then you're going to really screw up, because you don't know the lighting patterns, you don't know anything.
I'd be pissed if somebody did that.
Don't worry, TJ. Got my sights set on your drone.
No.
I'm gonna pump that drone full of lead.
Pump that drone full of lead.
Half the time when I'm flying a drone around people, and I'm flying it like either over the kayaks or over people in boats somewhere, they look up and they wave.
Yeah.
Half the time. It's the people that are out of touch with real people.
I'll tell you what's going to happen here, Joe. You know what's going to happen? Right? You're going to have your drone. Going to be up there. Someone's going to pull out the gun. They're going to shoot it down. Miss, hitting another aircraft, like you said. And then the anti-gun lobby will be back going, well, we've got to stop guns because people are shooting down planes now.
Yep.
That's exactly what will happen. There's always an agenda to why they do these things.
Here comes Jason.
Again, maybe.
Maybe.
Come on, Jason. It's safe now. Justin's left.
On deck.
Gentlemen, morning.
Hey,
how you doing?
Jason?
I didn't put a cover on for you there, Jason.
Were you having technical?
Carry on.
Were you having technical difficulties at first there because you came in and then got off or whatever?
Yeah, I decided to jump off because I had to run into the store real quick, and I was like, I don't want to walk around the store like this.
That was probably wise.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine, TJ.
I realized,
like when I'm at
so
work,
let me just do this later.
people will be like, we'll come in the store and they'll have like their FaceTime going with whoever they're talking to, and I'll just like,
yeah, but TJ, remember, he'll be on a panel to us, and we'll be like, just empty the till in the bag, just put it in the bag. This is an online robbery.
Online robbery.
I'm robbing you here from Essex, United Kingdom. Put it in the bag.
I mean, 2 reasons, obviously, of course, just courtesy to you guys and not, have you in my back pocket rolling around or even just running around like this.
Yeah.
Talking to people.
You just need to leave it. No, you just need to leave it there. I do not want to be in your back pocket.
Situational awareness with respect to, what's going on around me if I'm focused on this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we'll just stop at number 1 because I definitely don't want to be in your back pocket. No offense.
Yes, of course.
I tell you what, the amount of people that walk around with the phones in the back pocket, and then you see them sit down on the bus and you hear the phone go, you're like, ouch, that's gonna hurt.
So did I hear someone's getting the Mavic 4?
No, everybody's
Yeah,
talking
if
about
I
it.
win if I win the lottery, yeah.
Talking about it?
Joe wants one bad.
I want one.
Oh yeah?
I'm not gonna lie. I do want one. The
What are you
problem I
gonna
have
have
is
to
that I don't know if I can afford it.
You're gonna have to go on a holiday to
One of the
Canada.
things with China is going to decrease or stop the sales of future
It
DJI
will.
drones.
It will in the US, but where there's a will, there's a way. There's nothing to stop you guys going on a holiday to Canada, to Mexico, to the United Kingdom, wherever. Yeah, booking a cheap flight, getting over there, picking up a drone, flying it for a few hours. It's now not a new drone because it's been flown and done everything. And back you come. You're back through the airport. When they say, "What's that?" you say, "That's my drone." And you can see it's been flown. It's out the box. The batteries have been used. Up yours. You ain't paying no tariffs on it. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be out of reach for me, at least.
Well, to include the ability to fly it in, American airspace. Yeah, you may have the product, but do you think it'll be used? Can be used from
Well,
from
there's
an
no ban.
FAA
There's no
possible,
no.
and I'm talking.
Yeah,
I
but
guess I'm primarily talking to the Americans that are Part 107. I get what you're saying, though, David. 100%.
what I'm going to say is there's no actual law that says you can't fly a drone of any type.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
That law would have to come
Yeah.
in, and that will take time to get through. Yeah, as much as
Perhaps.
banning DJI went, that seems to be off the table now, doesn't it? And
No.
talk.
There's a bill in Congress that passed that said that the DJI drones, all Chinese drones, somebody has to do a study on them before the end of the year to make sure they don't do the spy stuff and all other crap. And if it doesn't happen, if nobody does it, they automatically go into effect. So at the end of the year, it could go into effect. They've snuck that one in the back door.
Well, do your report. There you go. There's no spy equipment in here. Ignore that little camera there. Ignore that little transmitter there. Don't worry about them.
Yeah,
The biggest spy thing in the world.
Ignore, hide, but I'm talking about doing the right thing. What's lawful and legal,
Yeah. The biggest spy piece of equipment in the world right now is a cell phone.
Yeah.
You see, I actually do think they will be flown in the US, right? Because some people will be willing to pay the tariff. Yeah. So it will be legal to fly. How you get that drone is a different matter. Like I said, where there's a will, there's a way. You ain't got the money to pay an extra 245% on top, then you book a cheap flight to Canada, yeah, or Mexico, or when you're next on a holiday, pick one up in the UK. There's a way around it.
Yeah. Once again, there's the way around it, but I'm talking about doing things the right way.
Yes, but that's
legal,
what I'm
with
saying.
integrity.
Yeah.
No,
I get what you're saying. I'm saying I'm talking.
No,
to the
I'm
guys
just
that
saying
are
how
in
you
the
get it.
US.
Lean forward again.
But in the US, there will be people that fly it because people will be willing to pay the tariff.
Yeah, I get that. I get that 100%. I understand what you're saying. If there's a will, if one wants to break the law,
not talking about the will. No, not talking about breaking the law. I'm talking about law-abiding users that were willing to buy it from a store, full price with the tariff on top. There'll be people willing to do that.
That's right, Justin. That's right.
Okay.
You said Justin, not Jason.
No, because I was reading the comment.
Are you considering? Yeah. Are you considering getting it, Jason?
No, I am not.
Is that because of the price, or because you're worried that thingy, or you just don't want it?
Yeah, I mean, I've got what I need to do work and business. I don't have a need for. I don't even know what the technology is on it. Where, hey, we need that specifically. You know, I mean, I've only had maybe less than 5 clients that said we need Apple ProRes. You know, and so that's why I went out and got the DJI Mavic 4 or 3 Pro Cine, because it has Apple ProRes on it. And from a standpoint,
you don't need any.
Yeah, I don't find a need to have that. I mean, I think I saw in the comments somebody said that it has 8K 120, or maybe that's in the, you know, I'm driving, you know, but
here we go, Jason.
What video do you require? You know what I mean? Or what are you shooting that requires that type of technology?
Right. We've talked the legal stance, and here's Drake to put us all right.
Well, no, we didn't talk to legal stance. You're just talking about breaking the law. I'm asking.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
You're talking about if there's a will, there's a way. That's and
yes.
If the will,
I did
if the
say
law says this is not the way. If you let me finish,
no,
right? What you're saying is, if there's a will, there's a way. People are going to figure out how to get around the law.
No,
right?
I didn't say that. I didn't say about getting around the law. No, you let me finish.
You cut me off.
Right? No, because you're getting it wrong. I said, if people want it, there's a will and a way to get it if you can't physically buy it in the US because of the tariffs. Yeah, I didn't say someone's going to willing to go out there and buy it to break the law.
What you're saying, get it?
No one's going to break the law.
Okay,
but there's no law that says you
I'm
can't
talking
fly
about the use and flying. But like you said, Dre is here to set us all straight because I'm asking the question. You know, from a standpoint of being able to fly it legally in the U.S.
I don't know if I have an absolute answer to the current situation, but going back to what Joe said, if the Section 1709 in the last year's Military Authorization Act comes into play, all Chinese-made drones will be banned. Okay, so if that happens, you can call yourself going anywhere else in the world and buying it, but you won't be flying it in the U.S.
Because that's a different scenario, isn't it?
Hold up, David, because you will not be able to register it in the U.S.
Exactly.
It makes it unlawful to fly.
But that's a different scenario than what we originally was talking about.
Well,
Jason,
about the bans.
But what Jason asked, do you think anyone's going to buy it? No, you asked if somebody was willing to buy. Would people be buying it and flying it in the US?
Well, that's if
you say so.
Because one thing still, if it was available today, there's other factors. Will you actually receive it because of the customs situation? Will you actually receive it? So we have a number of folks whose stuff got caught up in customs, just like I had stuff caught up in customs and didn't receive it for an extra 35, 40 days. And the first shipment that came was returned to China. So now you got to talk about how long will you wait to get it if you get it? Because anybody, I know Joe goes to Best Buy a lot and other folks go to Best Buy, look on Amazon, you look up B&H and Autorama and whoever else you go shop at, and see what their current inventory of DJI and Autel drones are at this point.
Good point.
It's very thin. Very, very thin. And most of them do not have any pre-orders for a Mavic 4. They're still trying to get their hands on 3s and 3Ss. And they're pre-ordering that stuff as we speak today. You go to Amazon, the only thing you get at Amazon is what the Flip of Amazon and Air 2Ss and Air 2.
Yeah, the older gen. But now the next question is, are there any US-made drones coming into the market?
No, and we all knew that. There is no manufacturers making drones for consumer level drones for the US.
I'd have thought somebody would have just picked up on that.
Consumer level.
Yes.
There is some U.S. manufacturers for enterprise level, which is basically you're talking about $20,000.
Hey, Don.
But you're not going to find any consumer level drones below $1,000 that have the same capabilities that you would get from a Chinese made drone.
I'm surprised no one's actually picked up and thought there's a market for this.
Well, that's the problem. See,
not really.
It's the big rush. It's the big rush to do something as they say, prevent something that theoretically they envision is going to happen if we don't preemptively do something right now. And nobody's picked the ball up, even though we have people who are advocating for U.S. markets, but they're not putting money up front. As I say, put your money where your mouth is. Ain't none of them putting that money where their mouth is at to start manufacturing drones for the consumer market in America. They want to kill off access to Chinese-made drones, but they're not trying to put anything on the shelf in America itself. And that's the really sad part. And like I always tell everybody, most of us on here in the chat, we would love to buy American-made drones if they were on par with Chinese-made drones. If it meant we spent an extra 10, 20 bucks more, maybe 30 bucks, maybe 50, let's say 50 bucks more, we would probably buy it because it was made here in America.
America.
Yeah. That's
American
100% accurate.
Yeah,
like
but we're not just talking America. We're talking British as well. You know, in Britain,
well, like I said,
if we would buy a British-made drone over a Chinese-made drone, but there's no British company over here making the darn things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Same thing here. We would be loyal to our own companies if we had companies that were providing adequate products. I'm not going to buy something half as adequate and cost me twice as much. You know, what's the old story in the movie Saving Private Ryan when the guy was talking about his brother was trying to make out with the girl in the barn, and the other brother made a noise. And he says, "We're trying to help you," because she was butt ugly. Nobody remembers all the cuties you dated, but that ugly chick, everybody remembers her.
I never had one.
What are you talking about, Dre? What you talking about, Dre? Tell us about that, Dre.
Dre, of course.
I don't have no witnesses.
Of course, Dre.
Of
course, everybody remembers the ugly chick you dated because I married her. Oh man.
There you go.
Oh, Donald.
Just
you
kidding.
didn't say that, Don.
I love my wife.
I'm clipping that bit.
You guys have seen. I've shown pictures of my wife. My wife's a cutie.
Yeah, but we're clipping that bit, but not the last bit.
That's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to hop on here for a second because I saw that Jason was on here and Dre was on here both at the same time, and I just wanted to hop on here to say, hey guys, I gotta go.
Okay, John. You have a good day, young man.
I'm not surprised to hear him say that. Have a great day,
is he like?
Yeah,
exactly.
So I mean, that's always going to be an issue. Just like they first talked about, everybody talking about, well, I'll just drive across to Canada and get it there. I said, what happens when you come back and you have to declare it?
But that's what I was saying. But I wasn't talking about breaking no laws, right? If there's no law that says you cannot have it in the US, I'm talking about people where there's a will, there's a way to get it cheaper. So if it's cheaper to just hop over to Canada, pick one up, fly it around a bit and then you bring it back as your own drone. Yeah, that's different to somebody actually going to Canada, getting a drone, hiding it, not declaring anything, and then flying it around if it's illegal to fly it around. That's different. I wouldn't advocate any of that. Yeah, but when it comes to price, people will do what they can.
I know you're thinking theoretical activities, David, but I mean, I'm just saying that with that theory, you have to look at what's the current situation that we're dealing with here. And that's what I'm saying, that, you know, nobody wants to invest $4,000 to $5,000 on a drone that you're not going to be able to fly.
I don't know, but I think Paul invested $100 on that packet of crisps. Or Cheetos.
Yeah, Paul's having the breakfast of champions. He just had a big bowl of ice cream. Now he's having Cheetos.
Yeah.
It's all right. For dessert, he's having Boston.
Then he complains about that when he walks around, he's leaning forward. We wonder why. Defense Russ.
Don't worry, Paul, because if you've got a big belly, when you fall over, you stick your belly out, you'll bounce back up. Sorted. Boing.
Boing.
Hey, Dre.
Yes, sir.
So a month ago, I went back and I hadn't been taking my fluid pills, and I was up to 264, and I could feel it. And I was out of breath and everything else. So I said, well, I got to take these fluid pills. So I got about 9 pounds off of me with the fluid pills. Went to the doctor. I had a regular checkup, and he said, well, I'm going to put you on Mounjaro, because he had me on Ozempic and it didn't work. He said, this stuff is different. It will work on you. So I started taking that. So since a month ago, and the Mounjaro and the fluid pills, I've dropped 24 pounds.
Now, you're probably like me. Has the doctors ever been able to determine why you are retaining so much fluid?
Oh, yeah. That's because I've got heart problems, congestive heart failure.
Okay.
So we know what it is.
That's it. I know, like I said, I keep getting this every like 5 years now. I keep getting this, we call it
like gout
infection.
Cellulitis.
Jason's at work.
Yeah, I keep getting this
Gentlemen,
infection.
I'll catch you guys up later on. Maybe when I get in my office, if there's not too much going on.
Okay.
Catch you later, Jason.
Later, Jason.
See you guys. Have a great one.
And the same thing is they do they do all the checks and whatever they call it,
Right.
try to figure out where it comes from. They never can. They never can determine, because they thought maybe it's some mixture in my urine or waste. And
Yeah,
stuff like
it
that.
could be salt intake, could be anything.
Right. And I said they never can determine what is causing me to get this infection every 3 to 5 years and stuff.
Right.
And it's just real frustrating and stuff.
You got,
But shoot,
you got an
I've
autoimmune?
had
Have you got an
I've had
autoimmune disease?
Could be.
What's that, David?
Have you got an autoimmune disease?
Autoimmune disease.
Oh, I can already say, what the hell is he trying to say? Autoimmune? No, that that's not the case. And I just feel like my body's turning on me, because the fact that I was on, metformin for the last, I guess 7, 8 years. No, COVID. So 2021, they put me on metformin for diabetes, because I was right there on the border. When I went in for COVID, it spiked up. So the doctor got me on that. This time I go in with one medication, I walk out with 5. I get everything for high cholesterol, high blood pressure now. Gave me something to take my uric acid down because I'm getting gout too much. All this kind of crap.
Later, Jim.
See, this is the thing, Dre. You're not 21 anymore. At the age of 22, it's downhill.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so, man. It's just a real pain in the butt.
Yeah. If you think it's bad, taking 5 tablets, I now take 41 a day, and it's gone up to 42 today because I've got to take a new blood pressure tablet.
Yeah, I guess I feel for people like that. Like I said, that's why I've always tried to exercise and stay fit. Been watching my diet more as I've been aging, trying to do all the things they tell you should be doing. And like I said, it could be just the fact of, a lot of doctors always say it's stress related, with the work I do, how I compartmentalize things in my life and everything else.
Morning, everybody.
We talk about,
Morning,
potential, like my high blood pressure. My blood pressure has probably been at this level ever since I joined the Marine Corps. And my first assignment as being part of Marine Security Guard, you are trained to operate at a heightened level.
Yep.
So your blood pressure is always going to be up. Even when you sleep, your blood pressure is up. And so like I say, you go from that type of training to other things you do in the service. I come out, you go into law enforcement work, same type of thing. You're always on edge, or you should be always on edge, so you're not caught off guard by some 3-striker who's ready to put you in the ground.
Yep.
So, that's through my 20s and all the way up to my 40s. So, the last 20 years, it's already established in your makeup of who you are and what you are.
What's TJ doing?
Y'all were talking about blood pressure, so I'm just checking mine.
I take mine about every other day. I just bought one because doctor said,
Let me know when you press that button, TJ.
Okay.
You gonna
I
make
want
them
to see
laugh?
what I want to. Yeah, I want to see what your blood pressure's like when you laugh.
All right, here
Don't
we
laugh,
go.
TJ.
You got to relax now, TG.
Yeah, they know mine, Drake, because I've had 24 years ago I had a quintuple bypass.
That's the way, Jim.
I've got a total of 17 stents. So they kind of have a clue about what's mine.
Yeah. So that, like I said, that's the frustrating part for me is they don't truly have a clue.
But you know the best part, when I went the other day to the cardiologist, we were sitting there talking. He says, you know, he said, this is the ironic part about everything. He says, your heart is actually getting better.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you've got three main arteries that are working. But he said, but the stress test and the echos we've been doing, the echocardiograms we've been doing, he said, are showing that the heart is getting stronger.
That's good.
But it does get stronger because it's having to do more work.
Well, long as it's the only problem we have was the out of breath part. And he told me, he said, the out of breath part is because of the weight, I guarantee, in the fluid.
Right. Yeah.
And he said, if you drop 20 pounds, you're gonna feel different. And I'm 24 down now since then, and I feel different. So if I keep dropping every day, I'm dropping about a pound with this medication. But I'm also eating in a breakfast, and I'm not hungry, and I've got to find something to make myself eat at supper.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to have some kind of food in me. And like last night, I had 2 chicken strips, and I almost couldn't finish the 2 chicken strips with some tater tots.
Mm-hmm.
I almost didn't want them. Well, at the end, I didn't even want them.
Yeah, see, for me, I don't force myself to eat. I usually eat no more than 2 meals in a day, and that's about it. I do what you call intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So, and I don't eat past 6 o'clock at night. Don't eat past 6 o'clock at night.
Well,
that's a big plus right there.
Yep.
140 over 99.
It's high.
That's high. That's high, TJ. How old are you, TJ? 30
It's
odd?
a little bit high, but it ain't bad.
Yeah, I mean, what you have
It's
to
supposed
worry
to be
more about-
120 at the high end.
120, 80 is normal.
Yeah.
120,
My doctor told me I need to get down to 130 over 80. They'll be happy at that because my blood pressure blood pressure spikes right at the top end.
Yeah, Joe, when I was in the hospital earlier last month or end of March, my average blood pressure was 181 over 95.
Yeah, that's high. That's real high.
Yeah,
What was your heart rate?
That's why they got me on the medication now. The lowest I had it down to while I was in the hospital, it may drop down to like 169 or whatever.
Yeah. What was your heart rate? You remember?
Heart rate 70s.
Oh, you're good then.
That's what I'm saying. Heart rate was not an issue. It is
The heart rate's really a big factor in the blood pressure. Because if you got a 180 over 90 and your heart's going at 125, then we got a serious problem.
Right. Yeah.
When you tackle
that was the whole thing. I said, they were all focused on the 180 and the 170 numbers and stuff. I think one time I even had 210.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
And like I said, my beats per minute was only about 81, 82 at that time.
Yeah, normally my blood pressure stood somewhere around 120 over 80, somewhere in that neighborhood. But when I was in there the other day, he looked at me and says, "You feel lightheaded or anything?" I said, "A little bit." He goes, "Your blood pressure is 90 over 60. I said, "Well, I guess that's why I'm lightheaded."
Well, you crashed. That's almost crashing out.
And he told me, he said, "Let's stop the Valsartan." He said, "The Valsartan we give you, let's do half of that." And he says, "Let's just cut the pill in half, right? Can't even freaking see the pill." What I do, the only way I can cut it off, you ready for this? Is bite a piece off and spit it out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see the freaking pill.
There you go. That was mine a couple of months ago.
Well, that's real bad. How are you still alive?
I don't know.
218 over 198?
Yep.
Yeah, and how are you still alive?
I don't know, but it does keep spike. It's probably like 1 or 2 days a week. It spikes at that.
Mm.
And then like today when they checked it, I was back down 140 over 92.
That means that blood's not even able to circulate.
My blood pressure's all over the place.
Yeah. So that's
You
what
feel like
that's what they can't explain. I said, I told him, Joe, that, I showed him the video. I said, just in December, I'm bench pressing 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, you light hit?" I said, "No." Now, Paul, I
They're
wish
a little
I
high.
was hovering down like that.
The 78's good. The 141's a little high.
Yeah, but like I said, look at this, that 54 4-year pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
54.
low.
That's low.
That's real low. That's like
That don't make sense.
they don't.
That's
54,
it's broke.
54. That means you should be in top shape.
You heard me? It's broke.
It's broke.
You should be about 80 right now. All the shit you eat.
So like I said, if I'm down in the mid to low 70s, I'm pretty happy. I mean, because I'm not running. I know when I was, like you say, Joe, when you're out running and conditioning like I was, in the military as a cop, my blood pressure, not pressure, but the pulse rate, I'd be down in the 60s, dude, 62,
When I was sitting there getting ready to take the test for EMS, right?
Mhm.
Everybody's freaking out because they got to take the registry test, national registry. It's a
Right.
tough test, right? And I'm
Mhm.
sitting there and I'm just kicking back like this. And Marilyn walks over to me, one of the instructors. She goes, "Are you nervous?" I said, "No, I'm not nervous. I got this." And she goes, "You can look like you're nervous." I'm not nervous. I'm chilling, She goes,
Yeah.
"Man, your pulse got to be sky high." I said, "Check my pulse." It was 52. I said, "I'm chilling. I ain't worried about this
Mhm.
test."
That's the other arm.
51. That thing is broken.
Well, like I said, he's using the wrist one also, Joe. He's not
Yep.
doing it up on the upper arm.
Yeah. Yeah, 154.83. That's borderline. Getting the 154 is the only thing I worry about. That's all the Boston creams.
Well, that doctor told me to keep eating the Boston creams because they're keeping you healthy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's just trying to make more money on you. He wants to see you more. It's not because he likes you.
I got told not to use the wrist ones. I got told always use upper arm.
Right. The upper arm ones are supposed to be the most accurate. That's that's what I have. Upper arm one.
Let me see what mine is this afternoon because it was pretty low this morning.
Shut up, Justin. Let me get that. I need to get that big bird. That big duck. You deserve 2 big ducks for that. Hey, Dre, my first lieutenant's son, when he was here the other day, he saw that big duck finger I have. The big duck with the finger. He said, "Can I have this for my desk?" I said, "Yeah, you could have it for your desk, but you really want to do it?" He said, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it."
Mm-hmm. That's the day the major walks in.
Oh, he's on the ship. When he was on the ship, when they do their little briefings and everything, when everybody gets together, the captain of the ship and everything,
Yeah.
the captain's sitting right next to him.
Mm.
Well, they all
He
got
says,
sick on
"Why
the
does
ship.
he have to
didn't
sit
they?
next to me?"
They all got sick on the ship, didn't they? All had diarrhea and everything. And
Oh yeah, a lot of them were getting it. They were getting the double dragon.
Mm.
Double dragon.
That's probably mainly from the water supply more than anything else.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Because after a while, they have to make sure that the water has a certain level where it doesn't get in. It used to be like was it the aircraft fuel or the diesel fuel from the ship? There's something that there's certain levels they got to keep a mind on.
Yeah, it's the USS Iwo Jima is what he's on.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
going
that's-
back. He's going back. Next week he goes out again for 3 weeks. And boy, his wife's getting pissed because they're going out. It's 3 preliminaries. They're just running around the East Coast to get them used to it.
Mhm.
And then they're coming back in for about 3 weeks. And then they're talking about going out June 22nd again for a 3rd practice.
Right.
But the word is that instead of doing the end of the thing, because it's either 6 to 9 months, that's what they know.
Right.
They don't know if it's going to be 6 months or 9 months. Now they're talking about going on June 22nd. They're supposed to be leaving August 15th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking about going June 22nd for another 3 weeks. But they're saying, but it may wind up being that's when they start. They won't know till they get that 3 weeks in, whether they're going to stay out or not.
There you go. 135 over 80. So,
So he may leave in June and have before they even start counting. They start counting in August.
I'm
So he
trying
may
to
be out
remember.
there for more
Evo
than
is
9
a
months.
helicopter transport ship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's
that's what
an
I thought it
aircraft
was.
maintenance officer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew it wasn't an LPH.
Yeah. He's out. It's going to be out at sea when he goes next week, and they're flying him in with Harriers. I mean Osprey to bring him in with.
Ospreys, yeah. Okay.
Ospreys.
Yeah.
Bring
Y'all
him in.
have fun. I remember that thing was just off the drawing board during my days, man. They kept talking about this Osprey, just like they talked about I remember when they first brought the 9mm in.
Oh, there he goes.
LAV first came in.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Well, what he's looking forward to is when this is all said and done, is that the Harrier group that he's part of, when they come back to Cherry Point, they're going to shut them down, and the Harriers are going to be gone.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're going to have a plaque from the boat. It's going to be the last deployment with the last Harrier group, and they're all going to get a plaque with their names on it and all of this. So it's going to be a little piece of history.
What are they replacing the Harriers with?
I couldn't tell you. He told me what it was. I don't remember. It's another basic, like a Harrier type.
Well, that was the envision for the Osprey. With that, Osprey was gonna replace the helicopter fleet, especially the 46s, and potentially if you arm it heavy enough, that was gonna be like the support thing for close air support, like the C-130. They're gonna want to put those howitzers on it and everything else, and everything. It's like that thing can barely stay in the air with nothing in it.
Yeah, it needs to stay in there just to get him to the ship. That's all I'm worried about.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I used to be scared to fly in those 46s because the same thing. Once them things hit the ground, they roll over like a crocodile. It's a death roll and stuff.
Yeah, those big old ass C-130s though are a pain in the ass. I flew in a C-130 from El Toro to Hawaii.
Oh, I guess you had fun.
Yeah, and then back.
I
was like, come on now.
I think I flew in one, from 29 Palms. We flew all the way out to San Clemente Island.
That's just as good.
Yeah, San Clemente Island. And we we was out there for like a week doing nothing, walking around, trying to play stupid war games.
Yeah.
And stuff. But it's amazing me how many little secretive or quiet little bases pop up all over the place you have no knowledge of.
Oh, I know.
Just like I remember I was out doing land navigation training out in the desert, 29 Palms, and stumbled upon a Harrier base that's not listed on any map.
Right.
It's like, where the hell are we at, and why is this here? Because it ain't listed on no maps.
The most impressive thing that I saw the whole time I was in the military was at 29 Palms. They told us we had a special assignment, and I was working supplies, subsistence. So I had to do the food coming in. So we had to order all this extra food, and it wasn't a lot of stuff, but we had to order extra stuff, and it had to be delivered out in the middle of the desert. And it was basically they were doing a regular chow hall out there, portable chow hall. Yeah. So we were getting everything set up, and they said, we're going to run out and show you what it is. So me and the captain, a couple other people, went out there and saw this place, and there's nothing but sand, nothing. They said what they're going to do is they're going to do a little chow hall over here, doing all of this, and then the Seabees are coming down, and they're laying out corrugated metal,
right,
for an airstrip, right? And they said, and the time starts next week. It's going to be a time. They've got a certain time they got to have this down,
right?
Because there's I think it's a C-17, that big jet. A big
Yeah.
Air Force jet is coming in
Mhm.
and is going to land and has to be finished when he gets there, so he can
Mm.
land it like this. And we said, okay, so so we got everything to them. They started. They only had like 20 hours to do this when they
Mhm.
started it. So we went out and watched them, and they had all their trucks out there, got out there, put their stuff down, and all it is corrugated metal with holes in it all through it.
Right.
So it
Mhm.
sits in the sand and it'll grab the sand.
Right.
So they started putting this stuff together, and it doesn't snap together. They got to weld it together.
Oh wow.
So they were
So
welding it together.
It's not the
Yeah.
puzzle pieces, huh?
No, they were welding it together because they were all night welding this stuff, putting it out. And I can't even remember the footage they had to put on it for this jet,
Yeah.
right?
C-17
And
takes a large runway.
and we're sitting out there. We're sitting out there in the mountain area, just watching. The day of the thing, they told us, "Y'all come out and watch." So we came out. We watching what's going on, and you see the jet coming from a distance. That thing was so big when it came in that when it would come, it would look like it was standing still, coming in
Mhm.
real slow, like this. And we're watching this thing and says, "Is that thing moving?" That's how big it was. That
Yeah.
sucker came down, landed on that runway, went all the way down to the end, and there's no way for it to turn around. I'm saying, how are they gonna turn it around?
Mhm.
It turned around, just
On
kept the
down.
wheels locked and turned around. Then he
Yeah.
took off. That's all
Mm.
they wanted, to see if they could do it.
Just to see if they can do it.
Now, tell me, to see if they could do it. What
Yeah.
happens if they didn't do it?
Yeah.
That's what I kept saying.
Somebody be
That
standing
was-
tall in front of the man.
Yeah, if they didn't do it and he runs off that thing into the sand, what they're gonna do?
Mhm. Oh yeah. Yeah. There'll be
Trek.
somebody
it's
would
like-
lead to that command.
But they did it. I seen all the Seabees jumping around down there and everything else because they got it done.
Mhm.
But those are some working fools, boy, the Seabees.
Yep. Mhm.
But I was very impressed at how big that thing was and how slow it looked like it was moving.
Yeah. I used to fly them a lot out here at the old Norton Air Base when it was active. Those C-17s.
Well, do you remember El Toro base?
Yeah. I've been out there twice. Matter of fact, I remember being out there twice.
Yeah, I was out there for NCO school.
Last time I was out that way, we were doing recruiting duty. We came out of San Diego, visited recruiting office in the El Toro area, and we were, doing stuff on the base and everything. That's the last time I remember. No. And then I played in the championship football game last time I was on El Toro.
Yeah, the only
But,
thing I remember about that base was that you walked out the barracks and there was airstrips. I remember that. It was nothing but airstrips, a chow hall. I don't even remember an exchange, but I know they had one, a little one.
Well, the great thing about that base was that it sat right in the middle of a nice city.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, if you had to pick any place to be stationed in the Marine Corps, El Toro would probably be the best pick spot because you go off the base, you're right in the middle of Tustin, California, right
Yeah.
next door to Anaheim. You're 15 minutes away from Disneyland, Angel Stadium, baseball. You had all the amenities that most folks would love to be at, and right there
Yep.
by the military base.
Yep. I enjoyed it. I was only there for 6 weeks, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't like the running up they had a area in the back where you ran through orange groves. That's where we did a lot of running. And they
Mhm.
told us straight out, they said, when you run through these orange groves, do not touch an orange.
Mhm.
They're not ours. We're allowed to run through them. You will get in trouble.
Yeah, them orange groves are probably somebody's house right now. There's nothing but houses around that whole base, complete.
Yep.
Is the base still there?
Justin, we see a little tidbit information. Most was irrelevant and not important. That's why we haven't said anything.
No, the base isn't there anymore. It happened during invasion with Will Smith. Remember that this base that got blown up?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that they had one of the the blimp hangars burned down. I think it was about a year ago and stuff. So that was the only reason they kept some intact, because those blimp hangars were historical, but they were around
Yeah.
during World War One, II for those blimps.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. And those were they stored the helicopters at, because it wasn't a regular fighter base, it was a helicopter base.
Yeah.
So you have the same problem over here. Somebody comes along and goes, "That's historical. We must keep that." And then 6 months later, there's a fucking big fire and it's gone.
Yep. Yep. Because they didn't even sell, like a lot of military bases usually get converted to civilian activity bases, or strip, whatever. They didn't do the El Toro. They just kind of let it be where it's at because of those hangars.
Yeah.
Because the landing strip was a decent size. It could turn into a nice little airport, but they already got is it John Wayne Airport down there close by?
Yeah, John Wayne.
Yeah, they already
Yeah.
got John Wayne. So, it would have been like a private we call reserve strip, just in case John Wayne, something happens to John Wayne strip, they could use that as alternative landing spot.
Yep. Yeah, I flew out of John Wayne a couple of times.
There you go, Justin. Just retract all those little statements you put up.
Now he's mad.
Yeah.
You're in for it now, Dre.
Well, I gave him a thumbs up on his little picture of his computer studio.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
He's such a OCD type
Yeah.
person.
Has he posted that on
Yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
posted it on
think-
Facebook, and somebody talking about his little
I didn't
computer
see it.
group. And it's so neat and clean. You think it came out of the Computer Times magazine or something.
It might have.
Yeah, I remember Justin giving Paul some shit about the way his desk is and stuff, because he's got like all the wires and shit everywhere.
Oh yeah, mine's like that. I got a ton of wires and all kind of crap and paperwork, and that's why it's my office space, man.
As long as it works, Ray. As long as it works.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
think we've seen some cobwebs back there too.
Might be. Well, like I say, Paul, it's my office space. That means it's a working area.
Yeah, that's right. So all it has to be, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not about to ask you. The past subjects have been difficult. But I must join you.
I think my neighbours have gone out and left the mobile phone at home, and they've left it on the floor because all I can hear upstairs is.
It could be the wife having a little personal time.
You gotta keep her batteries charged, David.
Yeah.
All you can hear is
Good morning, Jason.
Empty desk equals empty mind.
I'm actually with Jason on this. A desk should have clutter. It should have character. It should have mess. Because you're working on it.
Well, like I say, if it's a office desk or whatever you want to call yourself doing, if it's just there for pleasure, it's a little easier to keep straightened up and neat that desk, because you're not processing. I mean, for mine, I got business cards from business contacts, stuffed over here, over there. I got printouts of jobs that I got to, do research on, and all this kind of stuff, and and then whatever I say, if I print invoices or whatever, or if I make purchases, I print those out, put them in a folder in my tax file, so I can be like Joe when I walk into the tax office. The old folks at H&R Block was smiling big time when I walked in this year, even though I wasn't when I walked out. But they were smiling. So thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. You had everything so organized.
I just gone through his Facebook and I can't see a fucking desk.
I don't think it was on his Facebook. He put it in, I think it was on somebody else's maybe.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I
Yeah.
didn't see it on his.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
because-
picked up
Look, he's
others,
on.
I don't
others-
think we're privileged enough, Joe.
Yeah.
We're not
Maybe-
on the we're not in the in crowd.
Maybe he took it down.
I did remember him saying he was actually going to rebuild his old desk. Excuse me one moment while I go and kick the shit out of the bamboo printer. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You guys were on
Oh,
quite
fuck's
a
sake.
long time yesterday, Paul, in the evening.
What's that?
You guys were on quite a long time last night. You guys were on past when what's his name? Bill was
Bill
on.
came on.
Yeah,
Yep.
you guys were still on. And that was 5 o'clock my time. So I know it had to be close to about 8 o'clock your time.
Yep.
He went out flying a late ship.
Oh.
And then after we got off, I went and flew another ship.
Oh, okay. So you
Did you fly with the
little
flip?
Beaver last night, huh?
No, I didn't fly the flip.
So
Don't like
did your
don't
drone,
like the flip, Joe.
did you
just
get
the
your
reason
drone
you don't
working
have
again? Paul?
What?
Did you get your drone working again? I heard you it got wet and it wasn't operating properly.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. You do the old rice thing or just dry it out enough?
No, I just tried it out good. And
Okay.
it came back.
That's good to hear.
TJ's chewing on his knuckles again.
I thought the flip was your favorite drone there, Paul.
Yeah, huh? He's on a roll, Dre.
Yeah. No, no.
Let this be a lesson to you. When you defend Chinese products, they always have a habit of coming back and shitting on your doorstep.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's funny. That's funny.
Oh, my heart, oh, my heart.
That's funny. That's
No, it's
pretty
not.
Good. That's pretty good.
See you later, Jim.
Oh, goodness.
Here we go again. This time, let's put a bill plate on it. Stupid fucking thing.
Oh man. He is on one now, isn't he?
He's on a roll.
Huh, there it is.
Well, I hate to inform you guys, you got some about another big storm coming your way.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
We're getting a light one here in California. It usually picks up speed and intensity by the time it come across Missouri, heading across the Central Plains.
It was supposed to have rain tonight, but it's supposed to be diminishing before it gets to us.
Yeah, like I said, we got light rains scheduled for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you guys will probably get it sometime between Tuesday and Wednesday next week. But this is our normal pattern, what we always call a May gray.
PJ, before you stop, get that blood pressure machine on. Let's see what it is. See what it's at. Come on.
Oh, it's at 300.
I don't think it will. I reckon when he gets into this state, he flatlines.
It's
This
moving
literally
too
goes-
much for it to work.
Flatlines. That's hilarious.
But just look, he's gone. That's it. And then he comes back to life, and he's like, "I'm the 90th coming." Dun, dun, dun.
Encourage him. Don't encourage him, Paul.
That's what Paul loves to do is encourage.
That's funny.
That's funny.
That's pretty
But is
good.
it funny?
Pretty good.
That's funny.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's funny.
Dre, you're very well educated. I need to ask a serious and important question here. If TJ was to flatline, right, and Paul's encouraged it and done everything, do we get arrested as accessories to the crime, being on the panel?
Well, David, that is a good question because now with the law is not up with the social media aspect of this to where we would be considered accessories or let me see, it'd be accessories before the act or accessories after the act, per se, because we have no direct control of TJ. Because I'm sure if Joe was there, as I was there, we would slap him upside the head and change that laughter into pain, and we would resolve this pretty quickly.
You talking about slapping Paul in the head,
like
right?
I said, with the recent cases we've had about, I remember what's the one, the girl was texting this guy. She was telling him to kill himself. And he actually did.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept.
That's funny.
That is,
So you're talking
I
about
mean, that is
slapping Paul in the
serious.
head, though, right?
Was that good?
Encourage him. With a slap Paul in the head, but encourage him, right?
Yeah. But we're trying to say TJ, so you want to basically address him first.
Hey, Paul, if he falls out, you can't fly a drone from jail.
Yeah, we did have a case last year where a transgender girl had been killed, a young one, yeah, and two of her best friends had talked about it over social media, and one of them actually carried out the act, but the other one was just encouraging it, and they both got done for murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ, breed, buddy. T. Joe, looks like you're gonna have to go over there and give him CPR.
I'm not doing CPR nothing.
I don't think it's going to be Joe. I think it's going to have to be get hold of Justin because he's closer.
Hey, Dre, my son's got an appointment on Tuesday morning, 9:30, with the Slidell Police Department. Everybody that's trained him over at Slidell has got the packet because they're in the line of people that hire. And they said they just pass it on. They said, we're ready to get you on with us like this. So he goes and does the official interview on Tuesday. So he should be hired next week.
Good. So he wasn't interested in that job on the ship?
Nope. He don't want to do it. He doesn't want to do something and then this Slidell come up, you know?
Well, I get that part of it, but I mean, that's kind of hard. That's for a month. I tell them guys, hey, you know what? I'll be here June 1st.
Yeah, I would have definitely done that. 16
I'll
grand.
be here ready to go June 1st. I gotta take care of some personal stuff, and I'll be on that ship. Man, make 26 grand a month. Yeah, I think I'll be on that ship with a quickness.
TJ,
Paul, I think we need to let him breathe.
Wheels out the way.
That's what I would have
Come on,
done.
TJ. Back in the room, TJ. TJ, back in the room. Come on. No. No, Paul.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But Dre, you'll appreciate the last arrest he did. It was a fight that it was a domestic, and it was the dad and the mom got into it, and then the son got into it. The son came over and he started getting into it, and Justin told him, "Back off now."
You have to treat him like a pregnant woman once he's
he walked
finished.
up and he pushed Justin.
Breathe.
When he pushed Justin cuffed him. Right?
Out.
And he brought him in. He
Breathe.
said, "That's
Out.
nothing." He said, "I'm not going to be in jail long and all of this." And he said, "I'll be out tonight," like this. So he gets in the back of the car and he's mouthing off to Justin the whole time. They get to the police station. By the police station, he gets him out of the thing. And he says, "You think you bad, huh?" He says, "I take that gun off of you and shoot you in your head." He said that to him, and he's got the body cam running. He said, "What did you just say?" He said, "I take that gun off you, shoot you in your head." He He said, thank you. Now you're not getting out of jail.
Mhm.
Like this, so he charged him with that. The
Yeah.
kid's still in jail, and they won't let him out on bail.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Careful what you say. That's why they always say you have a right to remain silent. You should fucking use it.
Well, that kid was stupid. It went from a misdemeanor to a felony.
Yep. Terrorist threats against a public official.
Yep, they called Justin the other day when he was standing here with me.
Mhm.
And they called him and asked him about it. And he was telling them about it and telling them the story. It was one of the DAs. And he had it on a speakerphone, right? And I'm listening to it. He said, be quiet. I'm going to put it on speaker. So I got quiet. And he said, I got you on speaker. He said, because I could hear you better. And he said, good. And he said, he went through everything with him. And I'm just sitting there watching. And he says, yeah, he says, we're going to burn this kid for that. He said he shouldn't have said it. We're gonna teach him a lesson. We're gonna burn him. That's crazy.
I said they're getting with terrorist threats against a public official. Another charge of threats of violence against a police officer in the process of his duties.
Yep.
And then they get him for one more charge to use on that. But I know terrorist threats was the main one. We used to use that even with domestic violence. The guy threatens the family or kids or the wife or whatever. We use that charge. Terrorist threats.
Yep.
Terrorist threats in the elements of the crime is does the individual have the means to carry out the crime?
Right.
And it has a more serious penalty phase on it. When we use terrorist threats to set up assault, verbal assault. Verbal assault, no big deal. But you put that terrorist threats on somebody, it's a more heavier penalty phase.
Sorry, Dre, I just need to interrupt you a minute. Yeah. TJ, Paul, do you want to get a room? I don't know.
That's what gets me. He can't stop himself. That's why he can't control it.
Can you imagine him driving down the freeway?
TJ, go and get yourself a drink. TJ, go get a drink. Go lavatory or something. Come on.
Well, it's a good thing he's not a drinker, Dre.
TJ, keep your shirt down. We don't want to see that hairy chest.
I know.
Oh, dear.
Funny. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Got Bluey looking at you on my screen next to you, looking at you like, really?
Yeah, that's Rio. But yeah,
That's
he is
Rio?
looking at you going, yeah, and he is looking going, what the fuck?
TJ's neighbors is like, what the fuck is going on with this guy again?
Oh goodness.
Had this big back and forth the other day on one of the Facebook pages, and it's about that Texas law that I talked about last Sunday. And like always, everybody wants to jump on the airspace issue. To give you the scenario, this guy was tasked to take pictures or film the courthouse in whatever city in Texas. And he got approached by an officer, and the officer told him, you can't do that because it's considered critical infrastructure. And everybody first jumps on the airspace. And I could try to tell him, I said, look at the law and read what it says. And this guy's just dead on trying to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And I said, dude, what is the definition of an image? First of all, I'm trying to bring him off airspace. And once he got past off the airspace argument, I said, they're not saying you can't fly, you just can't fly over this courthouse.
Yeah.
So once he got off that, and then he said, well, it's a public building, blah, 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 blah. I said, dude, you're not reading. I said, look at the definitions of all the areas they're talking about. It can be critical infrastructure. And the last thing I told him, Joe, I said, why is it you can't fly over police stations, jails, and I said certain courthouses? I said,
well, I think could not be all courthouses because, you know, as a defendant or a victim, you have a right to privacy in a court case.
That's not the point I hit, Dave. I said jails, which everybody understands jails.
Yeah.
Police stations people kind of wondered that. They said, okay, maybe it's the police. And courthouses, they don't get because they think public access. I said, no. Jails are jails. But why? They don't want you filed with jail because of the prisoners. They don't want you bringing in contraband or anything else to aid prisoners. Police stations, same thing. Some police stations have holding cells. So you have prisoners.
Yep.
Courthouses. Who goes to the courthouse if you have criminal cases going on? Prisoners. So they don't want you dropping stuff onto the grounds of the courthouse that prisoners or someone aiding a prisoner can get access to get them, I hate to use the word lynch, but that is the official legal term, so they can be lynched out of custody.
Yeah.
And people don't grasp that. I said, all these places have prisoners, because even when you're in custody, you're handcuffed. If they take you to the court, that courthouse now serves as a custodial facility. You are locked down, supervised by law enforcement individuals, usually it's a bailiff, marshal, or deputies that are there that have you in a custodial status. That means that courthouse building itself is now a custodial status facility.
Yep.
And people don't get that. I said, that is why, because you have different courthouses. You have family law courts that handle child custody issues and other family court issues. No defendants come in that court. But when you have a criminal courthouse, that can be considered a custodial facility when you have prisoners on the property.
Now, where's this person from that was you're discussing it
it's
with?
Texas, and Texas has a law on the
yeah.
law section 423, and it talks about, and it is specific. That's what it got me was the guy talking about, well, what about helicopter? I said, dude, this law is specifically written for drone use.
Yeah,
it's
because
not aviation law. It is written specifically for drone usage.
Yeah, and the reason I was asking is because what he was saying over here, you can fly. You can actually fly over a police station. There are no issues. There's a lot of auditors out there that go out and antagonize the police with their drones just to get YouTube hits. Yeah,
right.
But you can't go over a court because within certain perimeters of a court, because obviously every defendant, every victim has a right to privacy until the case is over. Yeah.
Right. And that's another aspect of that. But the main thing
and then you've got the police station, the prisons is the same as you, and military installations. They're not supposed to fly over them.
Right. And that's why I try to explain this guy. I said, they all can be grouped together as critical infrastructure because of the nature of the activity that occurs during normal operations. I haven't heard him write anything back to me yet. That was yesterday's conversation, and I think he finally caught on. Everybody thinks if they don't spell it out in detailed letters, I said, what do jails, police stations, and courthouses have in common? And I said, they come up and tell you can't fly because they consider it critical infrastructure. That is probably the reason why, because they have prisoners there. And what you brought up, David, is a very valid reason because of also the privacy of the victims.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a new YouTube sensation going on at the moment, and that is people from foreign countries coming over and thinking that their laws are our laws. So you get like the Americans, and they go, "Are you stopping me?" And they go, "Yes, we are." And they go, "Are you detaining me?" And they go, "No." And he goes, "Well, I have a right to move then." No, you don't have a right to move in the UK. Yeah. We have friendly police officers. Yeah. But, they still have tasers and they'll still fucking use them. Yeah. Just because in the US, you can have the right to ask a police officer if you're being detained. But when our police officer says you're not being detained, but we request you to stay here while we facilitate what's gone on and, get information from witnesses, once you're clear, you can go. But they don't say they're detaining you.
Right. Well, that's always the problem when people talk about American tourists. People from America think their Bill of Rights travel with them. And they don't.
You know,
They do not.
The first thing out of their mouth is, "I'm an American tourist." And where are you at today?
yeah.
Yeah. I have a right to free speech.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Not here. Not here, partner.
That's funny.
Well,
I mean,
don't
we
know if
are
you
pretty.
saw,
Go on.
Dre, I don't know if you saw yesterday on, I know you didn't watch Fox, but it was on Fox News, and they had a guy from the Defense Department talking about the drones again in New Jersey.
Mhm.
And they're saying that the bases have no ability to protect themselves from drones or drone attack. That's what they were
Mhm.
talking about. They said the commanders of the bases don't have the authority to take them down. So he's talking about trying to get authority for them to start taking down drones over their bases or even outside their bases.
Mhm.
So that's another thing they're trying to do. So drones are
Mhm.
on the target again.
Yeah. Misinformed information. Now, I'll tell you the truth, Joe, I used to watch Fox News religiously when they had Bill O'Reilly on there.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? What was the chick name? Gretchen, what's her face? And a couple others. When they all left, dude, I can't wrap my head around Jesse Waters,
No, I can't
Mr.
watch him.
Gutfield, and the rest of those clowns, dude. They're just outright just idiots.
Yeah, the only reason I watch Gutfield is because he has Emily Copagno on there.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah,
I watch
to
her every
me,
time she comes on.
I know he's there for some type of comic relief, but to me, he's not even funny.
Yeah, he's not.
Paul,
Sick kind of funny.
you don't have that money. We know that. We saw the red marks on your
Was that
bank
for the
account.
Mavic 3?
I'm showing it for Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's with the control. I already have that control.
You got
Well,
that
I say that's
controller?
the Mavic 3
Yeah.
going for basically $4,000 now.
So if that's $4,000, what's the other one going to be? 6?
Well, that's my whole point. That's the Mavic 3 going for $4,000, which originally the Mavic 3 was going for what, 2,500
Well, that's the one with the controller, the bundle and everything.
with what the
RC Pro.
RC Pro controller? That still wasn't that much, was it?
It was in that neighborhood. It was like 35.
Yeah. Because I saw the prices on B&H yesterday. I was like, oh my, like, whoa. They have kicked up quite a bit.
I didn't see that. They don't even have them in stock, do they?
Yeah, it says you can have it by May the 3rd.
Well, I'm a tiptoe out of here, Mr. Murray.
Hey, Drake. Hey, thanks for stopping by. You've been real educational helping TJ with his giggles.
Yeah, TJ would be my my prime prize student.
Hey. Okay, Drake.
TJ. Right?
Have a good day.
Have a good day, Drake.
Later.
Have a good one. Talking about students, what happened to Lance?
He's on
Lance
holidays.
moved on.
What do you mean he moved on?
He doesn't care about us no more.
I was just going to say, we've not seen him for a couple of days.
No. Going back to what you guys were discussing
Not
there
out
about
yet, is it? No. Probably not out for like
Hey.
another couple more weeks or whatever.
Hey, David,
Right, go on.
go back to what you guys were discussing there about flying over police stations and stuff. I follow this guy, DJ Otis. He's from UK.
Belen.
Well, whatever, yeah.
He should. I know exactly you're talking about. He should be called DJ Belen.
Okay, because he goes everywhere. He goes police stations. He
Yeah.
goes everywhere and never gets into trouble.
Oh no, he does. You don't get to see when he gets into trouble.
Oh, okay.
He pissed off somebody, right? You know, with this, you don't have a right to privacy. You're out in public shit, right? He pissed off somebody, and this company snapped. Yeah, they got all his details, everything, and they posted pictures of him and his family, and all his personal stuff all over this building. And when he came and he was demanding they were taking it down, this company had security guards going, No, it's in general public. General public area. You don't have a right to privacy. Yeah. And somebody actually went to his factory that he owns, right, and flew a drone over it, and he got his security guards to move them on. Yeah. So it's one rule for one and one rule for another. I used to watch him.
Factory?
Yeah, I used to watch him religiously until that happened. I'm like, you know what? What goes around comes around. If you don't respect other people's privacy, don't expect them to respect yours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not just that. It's the way he antagonizes them. You know, in this day and age, a lot of these businesses know what they're doing when it comes to drones. Yeah, but he knows how to wind them up.
Yeah. But he does
You know?
everything. He goes all over, like police stations, like nothing.
Oh yeah, he does. He goes everywhere.
Good morning, GDS.
Hey, JDS.
And the funny part is the police thinks they know what they're talking about, and then they do their research and they don't know it.
The problem is over here we have several levels of police. You have your community bobby that's dealing with that. You have your police that deal with burglaries and the big ones that deal with the murders. And now, as the police force is moving on, they are becoming drone aware and they know what they're doing. And a lot of the police now, they'll just pull up alongside you and they'll go, "Everything all right? Just check your everything." And then they'll ask for your ID, show it them. They go, "Yeah, all good. Have a good day," and drive on. Yeah. But he obviously knows how to antagonize it. The bits you don't see on camera, yeah, that obviously get the police there under false pretenses, because the police don't normally come out for a drone anymore. You know, they just tell the company, "Yeah, they have a right to be there. Just ask him for the drone license." Yeah. And sometimes they ask him for his drone license and he refuses to give it him. He goes, "You don't have a right to see that." Well, actually, yes, they do. Yes, they do have a right to see that. You know, they have a right to protect their staff, you know, for insurance purposes and stuff. So, yeah, he's everywhere, but he's one of them guys that I've lost respect for when he did the didn't like it when they flew over him and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, he's quite popular.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Right, catch the lead, the JDS.
All right, John. We'll see ya.
Okay, JDS, have a good one. Don't forget to go flying today.
Yeah, I forgot who the other auditor was. There was one with long dreadlocked hair.
Oh, that's Media, DJ Media.
Yeah. He actually got lamped. He actually pushed some travelers too far, and you know they're not going to take no shit. Yeah, they said to him, "You can fly your drone, but not on our land." And he was like, "It's not your land." And they went, "Oh, it is." And he went, "If you don't get off it, we're going to knock you out." And he was like, "Bring it on then," thinking he had the right to be there. Turned out it was traveller land, and he just decked him.
Yeah.
You know, and the police won't go on traveller land unless it's a really serious crime. You know, they just let him get on with it. I think America have land like that, where don't you, where the police don't go on.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I watch those guys all the time. Like it.
Yeah, like I said, you have to go delve deeper in because, yeah, he went quiet for a while. Did DJ Audits, and that's because he had legal cases against him.
So in other words, don't believe his videos. What he says.
They're good. Some are, yeah, but I think a lot of it's edited.
Yeah.
You don't see the antagonization because, you know, we all know if somebody's got a drone flying around, they don't often just get. People don't obviously get agitated and angry straight away and come out going, yeah. There has to be something there. There has to be something there that's led them to come out.
Yeah. There was one that was funny. He
What did you call
got
it?
chased by
Angry
these
David.
guys. and he had to run through the train and stuff, jumping fences, going through the bush, running away from these two guys that were chasing him.
David, you got him rolling again.
Here we go.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
TJ, this is an honest question now. No, serious question. Do you have a sticker in your car that says that's pretty good on the back bumper?
No, I should get one made saying that's pretty good. That's funny. That's pretty good.
That's really good.
That's really good. That's funny. That's really good. I don't think I would put it on the bumper though, because like it would probably ruin the paint. So I'd probably put it on a window somewhere. I feel like a lot of people driving down the road with stickers like all over the body of their vehicle or whatever. Like,
You worry about the paint?
huh?
You worry about the paint?
Yeah, because when
Are
you go
you-
to peel it up, when you go to peel it off.
Are you one of those guys that every day you go outside and you look around your car, see if everything's okay?
Yeah, I hope my paint's all right. Well, when I was out washing my car yesterday, I noticed like a few nicks here and there. It's like, oh,
Well, you know, a good bottle of Gooby Gone, you spray it on there, they come right off.
yeah, could be gone.
Right, this is my point with bamboo now, right? You all know it fucked up, right? All I did was went in, pulled the filament off the bed, resent it to see if I could see where it was going to go, where it's malfunctioning, because I completely missed it. This print, perfect. Nothing's
Yeah.
changed.
Oh, you're printing Pink Panther, right?
No. I'm printing the.
Da-dum, 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 da-dum.
No, I'm actually printing the handle for Laura's wedding bouquet.
Oh, nice.
But she's not throwing a wedding. I was actually hoping she was going to throw the bouquet, you know, like they do, throw it behind them, and then
Oh yeah.
all the women go running and deck each other to get it. Yeah.
So what you
I was
doing?
on-
You're printing the flowers?
No, we've got proper flowers, but
Okay,
I'm
good. I was
printing
gonna
the
say, you
thing
cheap
to hold
bastard.
them. Yeah. It wouldn't be cheap though, would it?
No, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But no, what I actually want to do, you know the little devil bangers you used to get that you throw at the floor and they go pop? They look like they're in little Risley papers and you just throw them on the floor and they go bam. I wanted to
Oh,
get
like the
lots
little-
of them.
You're talking about like the little poppers that you buy at the fireworks store.
Yeah, but these are little pieces of paper. You just throw them on the floor and they bang. That's it, and that's it. They're gone. Yeah, they're called devil bangers over here. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to hide hundreds of them inside a bouquet. So when she threw it over her head, they all came out. So I go bam, 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 bam.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, we have the little tiny bags that you smash on the ground and it pops.
Yeah, that's what they are.
You know what people would do is I would see a video and somebody would tape a bunch of those like onto like the bottom of the toilet seat, not the lid, but the one where when you put it down when you go to take a shit or whatever. They put a bunch of them on there.
Take
And
a what?
so they put those little poppers that you throw on the ground. People will tape them to like the bottom of the part where you put the seat down when you go to poop. And so when the person comes to sit down, they all go, and the one's like,
TJ,
they'll scream.
TJ, serious question now. What are you searching on YouTube to find that?
I just scroll it, like I just see videos on Facebook, like people pranking each other and stuff like that. I just see all these like little pranks. I'm just like, man, that would be awesome to do that to somebody.
I mean, we used to put them in people's exhaust pipes. So when they set off, they'd all go firing out and go.
Yeah.
Although I never forget once my mate, he got a potato and he stuck it up this exhaust pipe and he went, let's make it so it takes a little longer to backfire. And he started banging it in. Yeah. Well, the fucking car set off, and then you could hear it go boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, there was a mighty fucking bang. The exhaust fell off, and the hot part of the back end. I was like, "You're a fucking idiot!
You could blow your engine like that.
You really fucking killed somebody with a potato." We used to do it on the buses, but now you can't do it. They got wise. They put bigger exhaust on. You have to buy a fucking giant potato now.
Tape 2 potatoes together.
Yeah, but you've got it. What you've got to do, you've got to get it in the exhaust, and you've got to get it so it tightly fits around the edge, so there's no gap. Yeah, so the pressure builds up enough to fire the potato out. Yeah, which is what normally happens. But if it builds up too much pressure, and the potato won't go anywhere. It's obviously got to go somewhere. It goes back through the car. It goes boom. The exhaust falls off, and so do the side panels.
Now that you brought up the buses, one of our city buses here, fucking some guy was in the back seat, way at the back of the bus, coloring his hair red on the bus, bro.
That doesn't surprise
Coloring
me.
his hair inside the bus.
I was on a bus one night. This was like 25 years ago. I was on the back seat of the bus, you know, feet up. This girl got on, and she's like, yeah. And she looked at me. She went, "You don't mind if I get ready for work, do you?" I was like, "Nah, you're fine. Just get ready for work." Next thing you know, she's down to her knickers and bra. I'm like, "What the fuck?" I thought you meant, you know, do your makeup, not cookie strip. You know, you get all sorts on the bus.
They was trying not to peek.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. And that bulge in the pocket. Yeah, and that bulge in my pocket, that's just my keys.
Okay, guys, on that note, I think I'm going to call it.
All right.
And we'll see all you again later today, all right? Thanks for
Okay.
being